Hey, gang, coming up on our Finding Better podcast is a special Thanksgiving edition featuring me. Okay, so it's for Thanksgiving, but I'm hoping that you will consider this kind of an evergreen episode because it has to do with gratitude. And I'm going to talk about gratitude as it relates to one of the most powerful emotions that we can possibly have in our lives as it relates to finding better in everything we do. And it's really powerful. Okay, so please share this. We're going to talk about a lot of really cool things. Here we go. Hello, 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 and welcome back to our Finding Better podcast. My name is John Suzuki, and I am your host. And this is a special Thanksgiving edition of Finding Better, and I am your guest. Okay, so I just wanted to take this moment to talk with you about Thanksgiving and talk with you about gratitude because gratitude is such a big, huge part of my life. And I will tell you that my personal experience has been that the more gratitude I express, it just seems like the better things get. And so in the spirit and the season of Thanksgiving and love, I just wanted to talk with you about it. Now, we are approaching our 200th episode of our Finding Better podcast. 200th episode. And just on my YouTube channel alone, we have over 3,200 subscribers. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing and listening, right? When I started my podcast on January 1st of 2024, I had told my daughter, who was the one who convinced me to do this podcast, I said, I don't know how many people are gonna listen. And she said to me, she says, Dad, you've always said that if you lift one person, you lift the world. And I said, yeah, that's true. She says, so do your podcast. And this way people will have a place to go to hear your message. And so I said, okay, great. I said, if I can get 10 subscribers, that would be amazing. 3,200 and counting, growing every single day. I don't know how that happens because we haven't done any advertising. I mean, I'm just doing this in my office. But thank you so much for your support. And for those of you who have been guests on my podcast, oh my goodness, you people are amazing. You've given me so much hope that we can change the world and we can together lift lots and lots of people, thousands, millions of people. Because the thing about this podcast is that when folks come on board, and as far as myself is concerned, none of us want anything from you. We're not here to sell you anything, right? We just have a message that we want to communicate. And you've heard me say this in my introduction over and over all the time that, sometimes the best path to success is to follow in the footsteps of others who have been there and done that. So this is like a really, really wonderful mentoring kind of podcast. And I'll tell you, I have learned something from every single one of my guests. It has been, like I said, the most unexpected joy of my life. And I'm so grateful. The interesting thing about it is that, when I think about the common themes that people have shared with me, the one common theme almost universally is that, all of us have been conditioned to think that happiness is out there somewhere. We just got to find it. Um, our fulfillment is out there. Peace is out there. Whatever it is we want, it's out there. Isn't that great? It's out there. All we have to do is find it. But here's the thing, and I am totally convinced with that of this what I believe is a fact. We already have everything. Everything that we want, the happiness that we want, the fulfillment that we want, the peace that we want is already in us. I have something to tell you, and that is this. You are amazing. You are an amazing person. You were born amazing. Okay? So just think of that. When you think of a baby and you think about a newborn, can you do would you argue with what I just said that newborn is amazing? I don't think anybody would argue with that. We were all newborns, right? And so by that definition, you're amazing. The problem is that the world has beat us almost to death and beat the idea that we're amazing completely out of us. Call it life, right? And one of the reasons why I started my podcast was not only to offer up really wonderful messaging, but to offer the world a safe place to come where they could hear from real people, from real experiences, and you know, and be able to know that no one, like I said, no one wants anything from you. And so the idea of gratitude is one of the most common themes of the people that I speak with in terms of an emotional gift foundational to finding better. And uh, I'm going to go to ChatGPT in a minute. Okay. In fact, I'm going to go to ChatGPT right now and I'm going to ask it. And for those of you who don't know what ChatGPT is an AI, is an AI application, if you will, artificial intelligence. Now, some of you might go, oh my gosh, that's going to be over my head. I don't want to do this. I'm scared of it. Okay. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how easy it is right now because I'm going to use it right now. So if you've never used it, just go to chatgpt.com. Okay. Right now on your phone, on this thing, go to chatgpt.com. And I am typing in, why is living with gratitude so important? Okay. So in ChatGPT, just type in, why is living in gratitude so important? Now your answer may not be the same as mine, but it'll be in concept very similar and generally very similar. But this is what it says. Why is living with gratitude so important? ChatGPT. Living with gratitude is powerful because it quietly reshapes how you experience your life. Here's why it matters so much in a way that's practical, emotional, and even biological. One, gratitude rewires your brain for positivity. Neurologically, when you pause to notice what's good, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the feel better neurotransmitters. Okay? Over time, this literally strengthens neural pathways that make optimism and calm your default state, not a special occasion. Gratitude doesn't ignore problems, it just prevents your brain from becoming addicted to scanning only for threats. Okay? Reason number two why gratitude is so important, it shifts you from scarcity to abundance. Ooh. Listen to this. Most stress comes from the feeling of not enough time, not enough money, support, progress, love, youth, not enough energy. Gratitude interrupts that loop. When you intentionally notice what is enough, even small things, you create internal stability. You stop chasing worth outside of yourself. You stop chasing worth outside of yourself. Remember what I said, that it's all in us? Number three, gratitude makes relationships stronger. People want to stay close to someone who sees and appreciates them, right? Expressing gratitude makes others feel valued, softens conflict, increases trust, deepens connection, makes you more magnetic. People feel safe near someone who's appreciative. And gratitude's grateful heart is warm and people can feel it. Let me repeat that. A grateful heart is warm and people can feel it. Number four, it protects your physical and emotional health. Research shows gratitude can lower stress hormones, improve sleep, reduce inflammation, increase resilience, boost overall happiness by up to 25%. Gratitude. It's one of the simplest, highest ROI well being practices there is. Okay. Number five, check this out. It grounds you in the present moment. Gratitude isn't about the future or the past. It pulls you into now, where your power is. Your power is now, right? In moments of gratitude, the mind stops rushing, comparing, or worrying. You feel yourself breathing again. Number six, it helps you navigate hard lessons. Gratitude is not pretending everything is fine. Fine. It's saying, even here, even now, there is something that can support me. It gives you a foothold so you can climb out of whatever the circumstances are that you're living in right now. Number seven, gratitude makes life feel richer without changing anything. The outer world may stay the same, but the inner world expands. Okay? Try it. You might like it. When you practice gratitude, ordinary moments become meaningful ones. A warm drink, a kind word, a pink sunrise, a shared laugh. You start living, not just passing through your life. Now, that's really powerful stuff, right? And it's true. It's true. My personal experience is that everything that I just read to you and shared with you is true. And it is so easy. And gratitude is a basis of so much therapy, right? It's a tool that therapists use all around the world. And so save your money. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a therapist. Okay. But listen, you can do this exercise in 60 seconds. ChatGPT has got different exercises you can do. And this is one of them. Go into ChatGPT and ask it for a 60-second exercise in gratitude. And it'll give you, and interestingly, if you ask that question 2 or 3 times, it'll give you different exercises. So here's one 60-minute gratitude practice, okay? Take one slow breath in and one slow breath out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, first, notice one thing you can see. Something simple, a light in the room, the color of the sky, a small object you appreciate, and say quietly, I'm grateful for this. Look at a flower. Look at the sky. Look at the building. Look at the traffic. And say, I'm grateful for this. Number two, notice one thing you can feel. Maybe your breath, maybe the chair supporting you, warmth, comfort, or your heartbeat. And say, I'm grateful for my body and what it does for me. You know, so many people out there, there's so many people who are disabled, you know, be it quadriplegics or paraplegics or folks who are blind or deaf or, you know, folks who have disabilities. And you know what? I wake up every morning and I say, thank you. You know, thank you for everything. Thank you for the remaining hair on my head. You know, thank you for, my goodness, thank you for plumbing. You know, you want to learn to be thankful for something, try living without a toilet for one day. You know? Okay. So, number three. Okay, the first one was notice one thing you can see. Number two was notice one thing you can feel. Number three is notice one person you appreciate. Someone who has helped you, supported you, or made your day a little bit better. And say, I'm grateful for them. You don't have to walk up to them and say, I'm grateful for you. But you could just say to yourself, I'm grateful for them. Number four, notice one thing about yourself, a strength, a quality, or something you handled well. Like, I'm grateful for whom I'm becoming. I'm grateful for being strong in this area. I'm grateful for being a great basketball player. I'm grateful for being able to pass that last exam. Whatever it is, I'm grateful for being strong. I'm grateful for being a hard worker. I'm grateful for the opportunities that have been given to me. I'm grateful for the really hard lessons that I learned a lot from. That's a really cool one. You know why? Because there's a lot more hard lessons coming up in your life. I'm sorry, folks. Life's not fair. Okay. So, this is, it's really, really cool. It's really, really cool. Now, I want to share a story with you that I haven't shared with very many people. And one day I was driving from Lake Tahoe to Reno, to the airport in Reno. And it's about an hour and a half drive or something like that. And I was thinking to myself, how can I make this time productive other than just listening to the radio? And so I was thinking, and, I'm a Christian, okay? And so I believe there's in and after. I believe in heaven. I believe in angels. I believe in an afterlife. And I believe that they're all around, it's all around us. And so, one thing that I'm very, very thankful for are my parents. Because if it weren't for my parents, I wouldn't be here talking with you right now. Okay. Now, I don't think it's debatable, and it certainly isn't debatable here, but I believe, based on my experience, that everybody has two parents. It takes two people to make a child. Okay. I hope that's not a debatable issue. But even if it is, just go with me on this. Okay. You got two parents. And so I just said out loud, I said, Mom, Dad, thank you very much. Thank you. Because, if not for you, I wouldn't be here. And then I realized that if it weren't for my grandparents, my parents wouldn't have never been born, and I would never have been born. So I said, hey, dear grandmas and grandpas, thank you very much. And then I realized that if it weren't for my grandparents wouldn't have been born, and my parents wouldn't have been born, and I wouldn't have been born. So I said, hey, great grandparents, great grandmas and grandpas, thank you very much. I'm driving down the road and I'm saying to, you know, up to 50 generations of grandparents and great grandparents sound something like this. Dear great, 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 great grandparents, thank you very much. That's my 10th generation of great grandparents, right? And so I would do this all the way up to the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, all the way up to the 50th generation of great grandparents. And I'd say, great grandmas and grandpas, thank you very much. And so, um, you know, I just decided to do that. And it was so heartwarming for me to do that, that I just kind of I've made that a semi-regular practice, especially when I'm on a long drive. And so one day I'm at my acupuncture session, and my acupuncturist is something of a pretty spiritual person. And so I told her about what I did driving down the road, and she stopped and she said, "What?" I said, "What?" She says, "You actually did that?" And I said, "Well, yeah." And she says, "I've never known anybody to do anything like that." And I said, "Well, me either, but I did it." And she said, "So what happened?" And up until that moment, I never thought of it. I never thought about it. And I realized, and I said, you know, things have been great. Things have been great. And she said to me, she goes, "I know they've been great." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" She says, it's part of your spirituality. It's part of your religion, but it's also universal energy. And it's also, you can call it vibrations, whatever you want to call it. She says, there's no doubt in my mind, because it's just a really positive vibe that you're putting out there. And so separately, I'm thinking to myself, okay, and this is gonna boggle your mind. Okay. I got two parents, got four grandparents, got eight great grandparents, got 16 great great grandparents. Let me back up. Two parents, four grandparents, 8 great grandparents, 16 great great grandparents. And so do you. Okay. Every one of us does. Now, if you think about the generations, can you imagine, or do you have any idea how many ancestors there are on your 10th generation of ancestors? I'll just make it easy for you. 2 to the 10th power is over 1,000 people. 1,000 people at your 10th generation of ancestors. At your 20th generation of ancestors, there's 1 million people, over 1 million people. In your 30th generation of ancestors, there's over 1 billion people. And in your 40th generation, there's 1 trillion people. And in your 50th generation, there's over 1 quadrillion people. Now, here's what's going to absolutely blow your mind. Okay. Think back 2,000 years ago to the age of when Christmas started with Jesus Christ. That's 2,000 years ago. Now, let's assume that every generation is 25 years. That's 80 generations, right? 80 generations, 2 to the 80th power is 1 septillion. Now, I can assure you that there's never been 1 septillion people, let alone 1 quadrillion or 1 trillion people on planet Earth since the day planet Earth was invented, right? So then you say to yourself, that math is undeniable. You cannot deny that math. So how does that work? And the answer is this: intermixing. When I told my wife that, she went, ew, gross. But the fact of the matter is, that's the only thing that can explain it. And so if you think about that, it becomes statistically impossible that we are not all related. How's that for something to think about? Isn't that cool? I mean, somehow, some way, and it could be dozens of generations back, but we are related. And, you know, and maybe that explains what universal energy and universal love is. Maybe that explains the vibrations that we feel and the vibrations that we put out there. But every person you encounter, somehow we are related. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my ancestors and that gratitude part of it. I actually expanded it. I expanded my gratitude to not only include my ancestors over the eons, but to include everybody who existed during the days my ancestors existed. So basically, everybody since the beginning of time, and everything since the beginning of time. And I'll tell you something. I, the it's funny because I just realized that the more gratitude I express, the more things that come into my life to be grateful for. And that's just my own personal experience. And I wanted to share that with you because even according to ChatGPT, it is such a powerful, powerful emotion to make part of your life. And here's all you got to do. And just do this in your mind starting off. Just say thank you. Just say thank you. And if you want to do something fun for Thanksgiving, just tell people thank you. And most people will look at you and go, thank you for what? And you say, thank you for being in my life. And that uncle that you can't stand, or that auntie who is really irritating, or that uncle's irritating, whatever, right? Those people who you dread seeing, try it. Just say, hey, uncle, thank you. What the hell are you talking about? Thank you. What are you talking about like that? Why are you thanking me? I just want to say thank you, uncle, for being in my life. And I mean that. You watch what happens. It's not only a gift that you're going to give to others, but it's a gift that's going to come right back to you. Okay? And it's undeniable. It's undeniable. It's that energy. And so, you know, I encourage you to try it. Try it. You might like it. And if you don't like it the first time, try it at least 3 times. Give it 3 chances. Okay. Because for me, there's probably, I can't think of at the moment, I can't think of anything, any single thing that has led to my better life than gratitude. I can talk about hard work. I can talk about dedication. I can talk about focus. I can talk about discipline. I can talk about all different kinds of things. But you know what? Gratitude starts in your heart. Gratitude is in your heart. Don't let your brain get in the way of it. Okay. And on this, in the season of Thanksgiving and love and goodwill towards your fellow person, right? Try it. It might change your life. In fact, I will tell you that I will be surprised if it doesn't. Okay. So, with that, that's my Thanksgiving message to you. I thank you. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. You're an amazing person. I think that all of us share a common purpose, and that purpose is to make this world better than the day we landed on it. All of us. Now, can you imagine if we all rallied behind that and just every day just did one thing to make somebody's life better? A smile, a hopeful, just hope, whatever. It's amazing how big a difference you can make. And you are amazing. Okay. So with that, thank you for joining me. I love you. God bless you. And we'll see you next time. Bye.